Welcome back to the Dr. Jimbo Love Show featuring my main man here, Seth Matthew.
Hi, everybody.
All right. Well, yesterday the Olympics were a little bit better than they have been, right?
Yeah, we saw some medals for USA.
Four golds, right? But two of them were Chloe Kim, right?
Mm-hmm. Chloe Kim, the one we highlighted last week. She's only about 21, 22 years old.
She's in her prime.
In her prime. She's been winning. She won the X Games at age 14. So
Wow. It's amazing, And then we've got Michaela Schifrin, who's just really having just a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
She ended up falling in the first 5 seconds of her run, which was really the run that she was really favored for. Was that the Monday run? The Monday run she was favored on, but she's got 3 events left. There's rumors that she's not even going to participate in the G20 or whatever it is, the Super G20 or whatever it's called.
Well, and it could be just too many events. I mean, if people remember, Michael Phelps back in the day was in 100 events or something crazy to win so many gold medals. And when you're training for 5, 6, 7 events, it takes a toll on your body. And so I think maybe she's thinking about maybe skipping this one and then just probably medal in the other 2.
Yeah. Well, we've got some pretty big hockey going on. Your St. Cloud State University played against Minnesota Duluth, who's coming to town this weekend for a series against DU.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a makeup game or what, but for some reason they played on Tuesday. St. Cloud State played over the weekend here and then flew back home to play Duluth on Tuesday. They got a tough series coming up against Western Michigan, but St. Cloud State may not have done well against Denver, but they did end up getting the overtime win against Duluth.
They did. Okay, now how far is Minnesota Duluth's campus from St. Cloud State University? Is it 2 hours or so?
2.5 to 3 hours.
So they busted up there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, interesting.
And so now Duluth's going to come back down here and play Denver, here in Denver again. So it should be a good series. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than the St. Cloud series.
Yeah.
Duluth's one of those teams that they've met Denver many times in recent years in the National College Tournament. Another big thing, news I just read today, it may have been announced for a while, but the Frozen Four will actually be here in Colorado, up at the Loveland Budweiser Event Center.
No kid, when?
I believe it's April.
This year?
Yeah, Frozen Four will be there.
That is a great facility, by the way. The Colorado Eagles play there.
Yeah.
And I was talking to April Fields from University of Denver. She's the second in command below the athletic director. And she was saying that it's just an incredible facility up there, that they go up there quite a bit. Matter of fact, it's the farm team for the Colorado Avalanche, correct? Yeah.
And
so neat.
Yeah, that's just exciting news for that. And for people that are following hockey for the Olympics, USA had their first game today. We got to see all the young college players, Sam Perbix and Nick Perbix and Sam Henches from St. Cloud State. Brett Larson's being the assistant coach. And the team ended up getting an 8-0 win over China this morning.
Very good. Now, did they score any goals, any of the guys from St. Cloud State?
I'm not quite sure. I know I saw Aaron Ness out there. He's from Roseville, Minnesota. He's currently in the AHL. He had a good game. Overall, it was just kind of a dominant performance, but they're going to have some tougher tests coming up here.
Right on. So the Frozen Four is here. So we may have a chance to see Cornell, if they can get that far, come out here and play. And that would be really cool because my friend Scott Howard, the general manager, will be able to come out. His housemate, actually the guy rents from him in his basement, believe it or not. He's got a basement apartment, is Shane. And both those guys are very, very highly involved with Cornell hockey. Cornell hockey is going to Troy, New York, which is up near Albany. They will be playing Union College, and then they'll turn around and play RPI. It's Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. That's why they call it RPI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes you got to go for abbreviations to make it easier on everybody else.
Sakes. Yeah, there are a lot of smart kids at that college. Let me tell you. So excellent. What else we got? Oh, we've got this game, football game.
I didn't know if you heard.
Small.
But yeah, big Super Bowl game. Great halftime performance set up. Pretty much, if you grew up in the '90s and you were a rap fan, they're all there.
Snoop,
Eminem, Dr. Dre is going to be there. It's going to be a great show. But big things coming in there. You got Joe Burrow making his first Super Bowl. Jamar Chase, obviously a rookie, going to have a big test with Jalen Ramsey. And then, we have our hometown favorite, Von Miller here, going to be on the Rams to try to get another Super Bowl. So it should just be an overall exciting matchup.
Von Miller is really great between the lines. Unfortunately, he's not the nicest person when you go and do a massage for him. He is not a real good tipper. Just a little inside scoop. If you're going to do any kind of service for Von Miller, make sure you get paid up front. Some of the girls at the Gaylord got stiffed by him. But anyways, he's one heck of a ball player. Let's hope he has a good game. I'm hoping for Matthew Stafford. I know Seth's been picking the Rams all year long.
Yeah.
I really hope the Rams win. I'm a Steeler fan, and you know, I'm happy for the Bengals. I think they've represented the AFC North very well. But you know, when you start talking after the AFC Championship, when 2 years ago you were the worst team in the NFL, about how you're going to start dominating the AFC North. Just wait 1 second here, okay? We've got some other teams that beg to differ.
I mean, I could kind of see it. I mean, you look at this Bengals team, they're young. There's not going to be a lot of changes. They don't need a lot of changes.
Right.
Everybody around them, right now, there's rumors Baker's going to be gone. There's rumors.
Where's he going to go?
You know what?
Have they said anything?
Not that I've heard. I just know that they keep looking into, is Baker their guy? He's now at the time frame, 0 championships. They're doing way better than they used to do.
Yeah.
But is he the guy to get him over the hump? And that's what they're trying to figure out right now.
Yeah.
But then you have the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, without Big Ben, we don't know what they look like. So maybe it takes them a couple years to rebuild.
Hopefully not.
You still got the Baltimore Ravens, but again, the Baltimore Ravens, they need to get over this hump of Lamar Jackson can only carry them so far. They need to get him some help. I believe they have a couple of the pieces in place. I think Hollywood Brown, it's actually Antonio Brown's cousin. There's rumors.
Hollywood Brown is his name?
He goes by in Oklahoma. They call him Hollywood. But he is an explosive player. He has some pretty easy drops, though, that have kind of cost him. He's not been the surest of hands for the Baltimore Ravens. So he really needs to pull it together. And rumor has it, Antonio Brown wants to play with his cousin, so maybe he'll be on Baltimore. So we'll see.
Oh, God.
And so, really, the Bengals have every opportunity to dominate this division right now. But
you got to remember,
Pittsburgh can find somebody.
Okay, so every year the NFL changes. And matter of fact, if you've listened to any of the preseason kind of predictions, no one really knows. At least in my opinion, no one really knows how the next year is going to be, because there's so many factors. Then you have the injury factor. Remember, it's an 18-week season or 19-week season, 18-week season.
Well, and a lot of it, they just want to get the fans hyped. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Here's the thing. One of the lame duck teams of late in the Minnesota's division has been Chicago. They've kind of been below average for the last couple of years. And their new coach, they said, we're going to dominate this division. They haven't even won a game yet. But
right.
You're trying to get those fans behind you, get
Justin
the fan base.
Justin Fields going to be in his second year. That makes a big difference for a quarterback. I mean, look at Joe Burrow. Mm-hmm. I mean, Joe Burrow only got how many games in last year as a rookie?
Before he hurt his leg.
Before he got hurt. So technically speaking, he's kind of a rookie and a half in a sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. But look at the season he had.
Yeah.
Especially as often as he was sacked. I mean, the guy gets up and takes it like a champ.
Well, and I love speculation with sports. I never thought that social media would be so involved in sports. Kyler Murray unfollowed all of Arizona Cardinals stuff. He is finished with his rookie contract. Will he be in Arizona?
Interesting. You can come to Pittsburgh and play. We'll take you.
And that's what, honestly, nothing's out of the question. There's going to be a lot of movement. We'll be tracking it through the whole summer. Obviously, we're not going to focus on football all year like a lot of other places. But when something significant happens, there's rumors of Russell Wilson moving, Aaron Rodgers, we'll definitely address it on the show.
Good. And we're going to be live at the Frozen Four. We're going to go to that. Let's go to that, and we'll be in the stands. Or we could maybe see if we can get a press pass, too, and be up in the press box. But contractually speaking, it's hard because they have all their contracts in place, so a lot of times we're not even allowed to be on the air, and that's what happened last weekend. I thought that we'd be allowed to kind of come in between periods and talk. So this week, and we're still trying to decide if we're going to be able to go down there on Friday or Saturday, but if we are there in Magnus Arena, we will be in probably close to the student section, someplace where there's a lot of energy, and you're going to have the hockey game going in the background and us giving you updates and stuff like that. We're not allowed to do play-by-play. They'll come down and make sure we're not doing that, especially when they see the big microphone.
Yeah. But I mean, you know what? College hockey is really coming down to it. They're over halfway through the season.
Oh,
Only probably, I think there's 5 weeks left, and before we get into conference tournaments, and then we have to do the selection show to see who's the at-large bid. And you know what? It's a great time. For those of you that aren't like you're big fans of hockey and you want to see some of the great up-and-coming hockey, the Minnesota hockey tournament for high school should be coming up. You can stream it live. I actually stream it here every year if you want to come watch it at Brothers.
Wow.
A lot of those guys are going D1, and it's just fun to watch those players play.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota has to be the state probably that's most hockey crazy in the United States. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, this tournament. So, not to knock any fans, but like we went to the DU game. It was awesome. I really wish there were more people there, but the Minnesota State in the stadium, like I think it holds maybe 4,000.
Which one?
DUs.
Oh, Magnus. Yeah, about 4,700. I believe.
Yeah, so 4,700. So you're looking at 4,700 for a college thing. When it comes to the state tournament for high school, even if you don't go to that high school, people are going. They fill the XL Energy Center with fans.
Wow.
And there's over like 25,000 people to watch that game.
No, that's in downtown Minneapolis, right? It used
Nope.
to be called the Target
So
Center.
they moved it. So Target Center's in Minneapolis.
Okay.
That's where the basketball team plays.
Yeah.
But over in St. Paul is where they built the XL Center.
Oh, okay.
And so it's the only stadium that's not in Minneapolis.
Okay. Yeah, because I've been to that stadium in Minneapolis, the Target one.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. You can go shopping at Target and go to a game. It's wild. There's actually a store in the stadium.
Yeah, and then there's the Minnesota Twin Stadium's a great one. It has a little Target dog. For those of you who don't know, Target is from Minnesota, so.
Yep. Well, the last time I was there was 2006, and it was still the Metrodome.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
we used to have that.
and
That was a good time.
The good thing about the Metrodome and the Syracuse Carrier Dome is they were both made by the same company.
Did yours
And
collapse?
Ours didn't collapse. They fixed the roof on it. But the cool thing was when you go into the Metrodome, it would have the exact same smell that the Syracuse Carrier Dome had. And there was a pressure, you had pressure to keep the roof up.
Yeah.
And that whole thing, as you'd walk out through the spinning doors, I mean, if you went out a regular door, it'd blow you right out. Did you ever try doing that?
No.
Oh, we back in the day when Syracuse first built their the Carrier Dome in 1980, we were the first group of basketball camp that went there that summer. And of course, a bunch of us were screwing around, standing in the doorway, and it would literally blow you right out of the thing, the air pressure.
Yeah, so the thing with the Metrodome, only was there one time. Guess who was on our team?
Who?
We had Chris Carter and Randy Moss. It was the greatest Vikings team
That was
I
a
can
long
remember.
time ago.
Yeah, well, because we've had our stadium. So we were at TCF Stadium for a bit while it was being built, but we haven't been in our stadium for 5-6 years. So
Okay.
yeah, I probably hadn't gone to it would have been late 90s is when I went to a game.
Yeah, I was going to say that's been a long
And
time.
so, yeah, I've seen the Vikings play a couple times since then. I went to their new stadium. Awesome facility.
Right on.
I took a couple Colorado people, and they hadn't seen anything like it. It was just amazing.
Well, that's good. Yeah, Minnesota is like Indiana is for basketball, and Kentucky. Both of those states, whenever you go to a high school championship game or anything like that, it is crazy. So that's really neat. So when you're streaming that, we'll have to come down. Now, we were talking a little bit yesterday in the preview about our security issues here and trying to keep the people up here in the mezzanine section. We're going to be taking tickets at the door, and that way we can line you up. And when you come up to watch the show, it'll be a lot easier for you to do that. But come on down. We're going to be live from 11 to 1 p.m. on Saturday. Again, we'll do another little quick blast if we're going to go down and be at the DU Stadium. We're just kind of have to wait and see. We have to ask Seth's fiance if it's okay for Seth to miss some of his wedding planning. I'm just teasing you.
Oh, man.
See, I had to rat him out here because he's not getting married until the 4th of July, so. I'm just teasing. But we'll be here for you. Other than that, what else we got going on with the Olympics? Is there anything major going on? When's the next time that the hockey players play? The men, there's women's hockey too. They've got to have some stuff coming up as well.
Women's lost to Canada, but we're still in it.
The women did lose to Canada.
Yeah, we lost 42. So we actually, men play Canada February 12th and then Germany February 13th.
Excellent.
And this is just the group stage. They're not going to, well, they could get eliminated in these stages, but most likely, good chance we lose to Canada. Hopefully we can get by them. But we'll beat Germany, and then we'll move on to the single elimination game. And
so it's a big loss for our females, though, because usually it comes down to, and from what I understood, either United States or Canada has won the gold medal in female and women's hockey ever since they started it, which was, I think, 1992.
Which we'll meet them again. That was in group play. Canada, a cool story about them, they were playing Russia. The Russian COVID tests weren't back in time, and so they were debating on canceling. Then they decided to go in, and Canada beat them with masks on. Now, Russia didn't wear masks, but just so their athletes weren't going to be affected, they decided to take extra precautions and play masks, and they ended up winning 4-2, I believe.
Well, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, that's a good precaution because they are testing, and you don't want to have your team get infected and then effectively lose.
I'm just impressed that you could win with the mask on. Like, you're breathing heavy into a mask. I know, like, it's not completely restricted, but, that's just hats off to you.
Yeah, I went to a high school basketball game a couple weeks back. I was telling you, I went to Overland versus Arapahoe, and the kids have to wear their masks down around their necks. So when they come into the actual timeouts, they put their masks up. And I was like, it was so weird for me to watch high school kids with masks around, they don't have to have them over their face. But that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, the United States hates Canada, the women. The two teams absolutely cannot stand each other.
In sports, not in life.
Well, we have the whole Canadian trucker thing going on up there too, which is kind of crazy.
I mean, honestly, it's a great rivalry between the two. Same with men's hockey. Canada and the United States have really been battling. It'll be a little bit different this year without pros, but I mean, the reason why it's so good is because they're always the two best. I mean, every once in a while, Russia, Sweden, Finland will sneak in there, but for the most part, United States and Canada are there every single time right now.
Yep, and it's going to be nuts to see that. The other thing is that Seth and I will have a point counterpoint. We're not going to reveal right now what our subject's going to be, but it's going to be a good one. Now, remember last week we talked about Becky Hammond, and the week before that we talked about sports gambling.
Yeah.
So we'll find something really good. We're not going to let it out of the bag until Saturday, so you'll have to tune in. We usually do that in our first segment, right? So our first segment will be point, counterpoint. And then our second segment, of course, we're going to be talking more in depth about the Super Bowl, and we'll be talking about some of the Olympics as well. We'll be also covering what happened on Friday night between DU and Minnesota Duluth.
Yep.
We'll talk a little bit about, you guys are playing, St. Cloud State is playing against Western Michigan, right?
Yep.
And then we've got Cornell versus Union College. So we'll have 3 hockey games that we'll talk about. Again, this is Hockey Central. Come to Brothers. We are located at the shops at Northfield. Okay, we're just north of I-70 if you're going west. Just look at the Bass Pro Shop or Harkin Theaters. Come on in. This is Hockey Central. We're going to talk about that meet and greet we're going to do as well.
Yeah, we'll get that all. We'll get all the details squared away on that, and we'll get a little announcement going here very soon.
We'll probably do it, somewhere like maybe a week before the Frozen Four, and we'll try to get as many alumni as we possibly can in here. And we're going to go through the alumni connections at each university, and they all have lists, so they'll be able to do email blasts and get people out there. So we don't know how busy it'll be, but we know we can do it up here, right, in the mezzanine, as long as it doesn't conflict with any of your already scheduled events.
We'll be fine.
Excellent. All right. Anything else that you want to do for the preview?
No, I think we're all set for Saturday. Tune in the morning, and we'll see.
Yeah, let's say some prayers for Michaela Schifrin. She's having a rough time, man. She's a local girl, she lives up in Vail.
She's gonna get one.
All I want to see her do now is just finish, okay? If she medals, that's wonderful. But God Almighty, it's got to be in her head. I mean, she sat there on the hill for 20 minutes, just crying after she fell in her last event.
Well, and real quick here, before we sign off, people have to realize, when you lose an Olympic event, that's not just losing the event. You have to think of are you still going to be active 4 years from now?
Yeah.
Is this your last Olympics? Shaun White announced that this is his last Olympics.
Sure. Well, Michaela's only 26.
So she'll probably have at least 1 or 2 more.
Yep. Yep.
But again, it's the long anticipated wait, 4 years. You know how disappointed you are when your home team, let's say, we can use the Steelers for example. If the Steelers don't make playoffs, or the Steelers are in playoffs and they're eliminated.
It's so rare, though, it's hard for me to relate.
So when they get eliminated from playoffs, even though they may have had a good run,
yeah,
you have to wait a whole year. I was so upset when the Avalanche got eliminated last year from playoffs because I thought it was our year.
No.
We only have to wait a couple months to start. Yeah, or the Rapids, number 1 seed, gets eliminated. That's a 1-year wait. Now, imagine waiting 4 more years for another shot.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's really tough.
It's heartbreaking, especially when it's something as simple as a fall. Like, they happen, but she probably has done these runs 1,000 times, and she wouldn't fall 999 times out of it. But she fell that once, and it happened to be on that stage. So, I feel for these athletes. I've been watching a lot of them, especially in like the luge bobsled, when they crash or they hit a wall and it affects their time. And you can just see the disappointment because, you're hoping for that perfect run and get that gold medal.
Yeah, and did you see the women? The luge was won gold and silver by the Germans, and that was really interesting to watch the luge because those guys are strapped on that. And then the difference between skeleton and the luge is the luge you're sitting on your back and you're going feet first, where skeleton you're actually going head first.
Yep.
So I was watching the women's luge, and the German women are just amazing in that sport.
So the Germans are really good at pretty much all of those, like between bobsled, skeleton, luge. They really dominate that, just like how Norway dominates the biathlon in men's and women's. They're just amazing.
Oh, you know what we have to talk about is the mixed curling. Mixed curling. We had an Italian team that won the mixed curling. I believe the second was Norway, and then Sweden finished with the bronze. But the United States, unfortunately, we thought we might have a chance to medal there. Remember you had mentioned that?
Yeah, well, we still have men's curling, and it's funny. I actually saw a joke today that went out, and it says, "Can't wait for the Sports Illustrated Olympic swimsuit edition," and it was the. One of the men curler from Team USA, and he had a big beard, and he looked awesome. The cool thing about...
Was he in a bathing suit?
No, but the thing is Team USA for curling always has some characters, which is always fun to watch. Jared Allen, for those of you who don't know, is a big curling fan.
Jared Allen.
He actually tried to qualify at last Winter Olympics to make the Olympics and fell just short.
But tell everybody who Jared Allen is. He played for the Minnesota Vikings.
Awesome player.
He was like a linebacker or something.
Yeah, always got sacks. Always was.
Yeah, he was a beast.
He was got famous not only for his play, but he made famous. He had jorts on all the time. It was jeans that he cut into shorts, and he just was a hysterical, very easygoing, funny guy that everyone in Minnesota loved. And but yeah, he's a big curling fan, and a lot of these athletes. Professional athletes like in NBA, it's always interesting to see what their Olympic event that they really like watching is, because some of them will shock you.
Well, Herschel Walker was a bobsled guy, remember?
Yeah.
Back, because when it comes down bobsledding, you want people that can really, really sprint hard and fast and push the sled as fast as possible. Well, why not a football player that had 4.3 speed? Be on your bobsled team. Plus, it doesn't hurt that he's just solid muscle.
Yeah.
So the mass, of course, in your sled is going to help you create more momentum and, of course, more speed.
See, are you hearing this, Steph Curry? I saw you did a mini golf show. Now you should find famous athletes to participate in Winter Olympic events.
That's right.
I'd watch it. It would be hysterical and awesome.
Well, maybe you can get some of the WNBA girls because the winning prize is $250,000, which is more than
USA Rugby actually. Was represented in the last Holy Moly. I got to look up her name, but she's from Minnesota, and she was a great rugby career. 30 years old. She won Holy Moly. Got $250,000. That probably was more than a rugby career because United States, not the most lucrative place to play rugby because obviously over in England and all of them, they have more established leagues.
Absolutely.
But you know what? Hats off to her. She killed it.
Well, Tommy Boy really did really well at Marquette. Do you remember the Tommy Boy movies?
Oh, yeah.
When he was one of the best rugby players at Marquette at the time. So let's not forget about him. And we want to give an ode out to Chris Farley, of course. Rest in peace. Anyways, but listen, tune back in if you can on Saturday. We'll be here. Look for us maybe Saturday evening down at Magnus Arena. We'll know whether or not we can, but we'll let you know on Saturday. Seth, take us out. What else you got?
All right, just hopefully we see you guys Saturday. There is a UFC this weekend, so make sure you make it down here. It'll be really fun to watch.
$5
Fireballs
and the 32-ounce
pitchers are sitting at, I believe we're sitting at
$8, and then if you add Red Bull, it's $14.
Yeah, and so it's going to be a very awesome weekend this weekend, because we not only do we have UFC, it's followed by this Super Bowl, which is going to just be a great event to have.
Yeah, and if you have nothing to do, if you have no place to watch the Super Bowl, I know you guys are having a pretty good party here, right?
Oh yeah, we always throw the best party. We have the most fun and have the best specials.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so we will see you on Saturday between 11 and 1. In the meantime, get out there, have some fun, enjoy yourself, and don't forget to come down to Brothers when you get thirsty.